Hi, it's Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead, where today we're going to be making butternut squash soup. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please click the button down below. If you've already subscribed, thank you very much. Well, this is the first time I have ever grown any butternut squash here for myself. I have eaten butternut squash, like the kind that you buy in the store. Like I think Bird's Eye made one. It was kind of real creamy. It wasn't bad. So I figured I would go ahead and try this soup. Now, this is what the butternut looks like, and it's a really hard outer shell. This right here had to be brown and dead in order for us to go ahead and pick it, meaning that the butternut is ripe right now or ready. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one, and first, the easiest way I read to go ahead and get the skin off is to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and turn on our oven to 400 degrees. And we're going to go ahead and just wash the outer part, and we're going to go ahead and put it on like a cookie sheet or a pan, and we need to do it for 1 hour. Way it will be easier to deal with getting into this hard outer skin. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I've got a cookie sheet right here. I'm not going to put anything on it, and I'm actually just going to lay the butternut squash like so, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven and roast it. And then I'll show you when it gets out of the oven. Here's what I'm talking about. I'm actually just doing this one for soup only, but the other ones I'm going to roast as well, because then when I can, get that cut up, I can go ahead and freeze it. So then it will be ready for me to do, soups, etc., whatever I want to do. So I'll go ahead and get ready and put this in the oven. It's been 1 hour, and the butternut squash looks like it's definitely ready. I was just letting it cool a few minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and cut on it and get out that squash. All right, I've let it cool about 20 minutes. That way we can touch it so we don't get burned. Went ahead and already cut off the stem right here. And you're just able to cut down almost like butter. Look at that. Remember how hard that was before to get through it? And here we go. So now we're going to have to go ahead. I have to take a spoon, and I'll have to get out all this and all the seeds. And we're just wanting that yellow, nice flesh there. And I'm actually using this one right here, this real big one for the soup. I wanted to do extra here because I'm going to go ahead and put extra squash in my freezer. So I roasted them all at once. So let me go ahead and work on getting out those seeds and, the other stringy stuff as well. Okay, it was easy again. Just use a spoon to scoop out the seeds. And I'm just kind of putting it here in a pan that I'm going to get rid of outside. you can get rid of that, in your trash, etc. I'm just going to keep on scooping that out. Get this cleaned up. So that was real easy. Just had to use the knife to cut down. As you can see, it's still steaming, even though I let it sit 20 minutes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and work on this. I'm going to either use the spoon and scoop some of it out. The skin itself should just be able to easily peel off, and then I'll be able to cut it more to get it into a bowl, or I'm just putting it in a measuring cup so we can start this soup. First thing we need to do is we need to get a large saucepan. I'm not saying you need this large. I did get a really, really big one, but you definitely need a large saucepan. So in it we put 2 tablespoons of butter. I've got my heat on medium heat, and I'm going to melt the butter. Now that the butter's melted, we're going to go ahead and add in 1 small onion chopped, 2 medium potatoes peeled and cubed, the butternut squash from 1 medium one. If you had a carrot, you could peel the carrot and do 1 carrot and slice it into your soup, or almost cube it. I do not. If I had one, I would use it. And also if you had celery, you could use that, but I don't like celery, so I'm not putting it in. We are going to go ahead and cook this until it is lightly browned, about 5 minutes. Again, heat is on medium. Now that it's been 5 minutes, we need to add in 32 ounces of chicken stock. Now, I don't have any chicken stock on hand, so I'm just going to go ahead and add in some homemade broth. And again, it will be 32 ounces. You could also use vegetable stock if you don't have chicken stock. Now that I've added in the chicken broth, we need to go ahead and turn up our heat to medium-high heat. And we are going to try to bring this squash soup to a boil. Now that our squash soup is boiling, we need to go ahead and turn down the heat to low heat. And then we are going to go ahead and put on the lid, and we are going to simmer this for 40 minutes or until the vegetables are soft. While the soup is simmering for the 40 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and add in 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary leaves to add a little bit more flavor to this soup. It was not in the recipe, but I read on the internet you could, add a little bit more different spices to your squash soup to bring out some more flavor. So that's what I'm going to add. Now it's up to you. You don't have to add it, but I am going to go ahead and add it. After pureeing the soup, it seems to be a little bit runny. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of flour, and I put some in a bowl here, and I started out with 1 tablespoon of flour and mixed it, and I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to cook my soup on about medium heat just to thicken it up a little bit. Here's the soup up close. As you can see, it is a lot thicker than it was. I added in about 2 tablespoons of flour to just thicken up a little bit. Let's have a taste test. Let's go ahead and try this creamy butternut soup. It's still warm. It's a little bit better than it was. Still not as thick as what it showed online. But I added 2 tablespoons of flour, and it definitely does look better than it was. It's not bad. It has a mild taste with the rosemary in there. It gives it a little bit of a kick to it. But it's not bad. I mean, like I said, I've never had butternut squash soup before. I've just only eaten it. I think it was by Bird's Eye that it was frozen, and it was okay. It wasn't something that I thought was fabulous, but it definitely would help on a really, really cold day. In the fall or again in the winter. Well, I will leave a link down below in the description where I found the recipe and what I had changed. Thank you for watching. This was Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead. I hope you have a good day.